Hey everyone, and welcome back to these weekly giveaways that I do, weekly sessions. Today, I'm going to be going over how you can attain success with your cover letters through personalization. Now, this is the same method that I used to land a billionaire client off Upwork, and I'm only saying that to tell you two things. It's not to brag. The first thing is that personalization, even though I don't use it on every single portfolio or job application, it does provide a certain level of authenticity if done correctly, that is. And it's also a good substitute if you don't have volume, if you don't have the facilities to really pump out a bunch of volume. So I do anywhere between 15 to 30 proposals per day for my clients. And in that case, it'd be very difficult to do hyper personalization. So it's really almost like a crutch, I'd say, unless you know that this job is super qualified based on the description alone. You'll find that personalization at scale doesn't necessarily yield extremely good results. That's why a lot of freelancers, especially when freelancers and agency owners, I should say, especially when they already have more than five or six clients, it becomes exceptionally more difficult for them to do this hyper personalization, which is why they outsource it to someone else. But the problem with outsourcing it to a VA is that one, they have no idea what exactly to look for and they can't really think on their feet. And two, they're not really incentivized to, unless you're paying them per call booked or per client closed. They'll essentially just do cookie cutter scripts, and you'll find that there are so many people doing the same thing on Upwork. So the efficacy is going to decrease a lot, right? Which is why I, whenever you guys watch these videos, you might see me using certain scripts, especially if it's something that I've shared in the past. Don't just take it word for word, add your own spin to it and personalize where necessary, because your competition, and I say competition in quotations because they really aren't your competition. The people that are getting jobs on Upwork are those that have already gotten tons of jobs in the past. They know exactly what prospects are looking for, simply because they've been doing it for extended periods of time, and or as well as they've asked them personally. As soon as they get a client, I've posted about this before, but as soon as they get a client, ask them what made them pull the trigger on this, right? It makes no sense having the horse like right in your mouth, right in your face, and you're not hearing what it actually has to say to you. Right there. Why did they decide to do this? But anyway, I digress. So I just wanted to preface this entire thing with the fact that personalization really, I don't really like it unless I can't send at scale, proposals at scale. So without further ado, I'm just going to get into it. I'm going to show you exactly what I did to sign that billionaire client using personalization. And this was in that little period that I had where I didn't sign any single client for upwards of 200 proposals. I believe it was over 300 actually. So let's get straight into it. So I'm actually going to look for the job while I'm on the call so that you guys can see what exactly my process looks like. I've done something similar in the past, but for those new to my page or new to these giveaways that I do, I'll do this just for your sake. So just to go over once again what exactly I'm looking for, I'm looking for one, the country, two, how long ago it was posted, three, how many proposals have been sent to this job posting, and four, even though this isn't as big of an issue, but the hourly and the fixed rate. Of course, you want to know that your prospect is able to pay, but at the same time, it's very difficult to gauge this because there are a lot of, what you'd call preset filters available on Upwork. So a lot of people actually just set something, they just press something and go ahead because they don't know what exactly the service costs, and they don't want to risk underselling themselves or overselling themselves. Right. So that's why it's best to get them on a call, so that you'll be able to negotiate on the call. Right. So all right, this is an interesting job. Facebook digital marketing. I'm sure there are a bunch of people that are currently here or watching this video that do some form of digital marketing. So this is a really good example here. And if I'm not able to get back to you, get to your specific niche or service, then I'm sorry about that. All right, so this would have been a good job, but the preferred location is Brazil for some reason. So yeah, let's skip this one to move to something else. So video editing for short form content. I know a ton of you do this as well. Let's check this one out then. So another thing that I'm looking for, especially when I want to personalize something, is one, I want to see the exact location. So West Warwick. Never heard of that place before. Yeah. Another thing that I want to look for is their name. So what they do is sometimes they'll end the job posting with their name there. So that would be great for us, right? But unfortunately, they didn't. So where else can we get their name from? And that is to their recent history, their comments. So some people, and these are freelancers they've worked with in the past, will actually drop their name here. So by thanking them, right? So nothing yet, but let's continue looking. Okay, here we go. So the person's name is Coco. Right, so this is a 5-star review she got. Now this might have changed, meaning that this could be like an agency, maybe they're not with them anymore, but that's highly unlikely. So we've gotten the name here, right? We've gotten Coco, and she's from West Warwick. Okay, so let's go ahead and apply for this job. So we have two two key terms, right? We have two other things that we're looking for, and then the last thing is actually to the last thing that we're actually looking for is already provided in the job description almost 100% of the time. There are outliers, of course, and that goes for anything, but for the most part it's always there. So yeah, so they're looking for a team player who can help edit their social media videos and put them into short form videos with transcriptions and audio slash music where needed for the short form platforms. Right, so trying to find someone who can format the content for its intended platform. This will be consistent or consistent, right? Blah blah blah. Okay, so what they want is essentially someone to get them to edit them in a viral format, because that's what they want. They want virality, which is why they say that they want transcriptions. What they mean by transcriptions are captions that many of you have probably seen on the timeline in the past, and they want audio slash music, but they want trending audio. So this perfectly summarizes what I said in the last Loom tutorial. But people don't know what they want on the platform, right? These terms that are just used, if they knew them, they would definitely use them. So they want trending audio, and um they want scroll stopping captions. That's how we'll refer to it as, because that sounds much better than transcription, doesn't it? So that's the type of information that we're looking for to personalize the cover letter. So I'm going to show you right now what I would do. So this is the cover letter I'm going to use for this. So let's just insert all the information. So hey Coco, we know that the person's name is Coco. And for here, I'm going to go and get a line about West Warwick. So let's go ahead and do that. Interesting tips about West Warwick in US. Okay, so here, that's all you have to do, right? If they give a specific location, then we can find interesting things about that location that they'd be able to relate to, thus showing that we put in extra time and effort into this personalization, right? So let's let's find something interesting here. Hmm, okay, so let's use this Arctic Playhouse angle here, that the Arctic Playhouse in West Warwick is one of the best tourist attractions listed on, what's this, TripAdvisor. On TripAdvisor is true. Oh, or hmm, adding that to my bucket list. Yeah, adding that to my bucket list. Okay, good. So we have a personalized first line here. So I hear that the Arctic Playhouse in West Warwick is one of the best tourist attractions listed on TripAdvisor for the area. Okay, let's not say that. Definitely adding that to my bucket list. So there, we we so we refer to them by name. We made a personalized first line based on their location, and now for the last part, we're gonna delve deeper into their pain. So saw the job posting. Say you are looking for a short form video editor for your socials that can create scroll stopping captions with trending audio for virality. I've created and scaled a social media brand for a client in less than 90 days. Thought there would be an opportunity to do the same for your business. So what I do next here is I give them proof. So I show them that I've done something like this in the past, right? But if you don't have any past results, you can just leave this blank. You don't necessarily need past results. All of what we did prior is like a cushion so that it really prevents the need for that whole that hyper personalization is there in the event that you don't have these incredible results, because the fact that you've shown that you went out of your way to do all of this shows that you have some level of work ethic, believe it or not. That's what the client is thinking, because think about it, they're being bombarded by 20 plus proposals every time they post a job after a few days, or maybe even more emails about this, and those pitches that they're getting all suck. Like, they're not doing what I'm showing you here to do. They have some super generic cover letter that's like 5 pages long. Like, bro, no one's reading that. They're certainly not reading that. What they do is they get a cover letter. If they like the cover letter, they go over to your profile. If they like the profile, then they'll respond to you. And then that everything else from there is entirely up to the experience and training that you have receiving messages as a form of inbox management, right? So this is exactly what will set you apart and get you those responses that I keep getting so many messages saying that, they can't get responses, right? They don't know what they're doing wrong, etc. What you're doing wrong is that you're trying to be like everyone else using these same strategies everyone else is using and expecting them to work. It doesn't work like that, right? So just to wrap up this whole cover letter, so sincerely, Matthew, or you don't even have to put sincerely. Talk to them like you're a human. Say Matthew, or it's a cheers, Matthew, something like that. And then this is the entire cover letter. But don't just copy this word for word. You have your own thoughts, brain, whatever you like to call it. Use that, but use this as a basis, like a structure. So you have, hey, first name. Sometimes you don't even have to use first name. You can just say something like Coco. I hear that. Right? Because they get hey first name a lot as well. So after that, you go hey first name or just first name, and then personalized first line, and then saw the job posting, and then after that, you go into the body of the letter that has information from the job posting. And then you have case studies or results. If you don't have that, that's fine. And then lastly, we could put something like a CTA. CTA has to be there. So if just shoot me a reply if you think this makes sense, right? And then we close. Cheers, Matthew. That's literally it. And you don't have to always be daunted by bidding. Like they just bidded 8 connects, 7 connects. That's fine. I'm not planning to outbid them, but you know the only ones that I don't try to outbid or apply to are those that pose like 30 connects. Like, bro, I'm not doing that. So yeah. So maybe even just for this sake, let's do like 10, for example. Don't be daunted by this. And then you just send. Yes, I understand. Continue. Okay, send. That's literally the entire process, guys. Don't overcomplicate it. Personalization is meant to be natural, but it's also meant to show the fact that you've done a bit of research into what they've done. And it's more so for these jobs that you know will lead to something as well, right? So that's all I have for today. I really hope that you guys took some value away from what I just did, and be sure to implement this into your cover letters immediately, especially for those who can't afford to send mass volume. It's not the end all be all, and it shouldn't be what dictates your success at all. At this point, if you can't spend the money, you need to be able to spend the time. That's literally it. All right, guys, I hope you found this very valuable. If you did, please retweet this so that someone else can see this tweet and might be able to get some value from this as well. Know that there are a ton of you that are going to be, getting this giveaway. So, all the same, or more so, you need to be doing a ton of changes and stuff. So, I probably need to get to reply to those messages now. And all the best to you guys. Peace.